What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hops Geek News, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and we feature a beer of the week typically. I am Matt. With me is Lauren, and we are talking Gen V Season 2 today. We're going to spoil the life out of it. Typically, we go into, some comics where we're watching, reading, then we dive into some news. However, today, we are just going straight into Gen V due to the fact that, your boy is going to be getting hopefully some superpowers. Maybe they'll put some V in my body, but chances are probably not. They're just going to put some silicone ring in my eyeball. So, yay!
Your eyes will shoot freaking laser beams.
I want freaking laser beams out of my eyeballs, which probably won't be the case. However, the case of what I'm drinking today is called Lights Out by Treehouse Brewing Company.
Someone gets their lights taken out at the end of this.
It gets pretty brutal and gnarly, and there's some things going on, and I just felt like that was the kind of the aesthetic and the vibe I was going for today's episode. So that's what I got, Lauren. What you got?
I have a Forever Dreams Hazy Session IPA, the same one I did for Peacemaker. But you could argue these pets that need to be rescued are much like Marie, who was an orphan and needed to be rescued.
I love, not to jump ahead, but I really love her story and her arc in this season. And I wasn't so big on her in season 1. Season 2, though, I really came around on her, and I really came around on Kate as well. So
I feel like Marie got a little too big for her britches in this.
Interesting. And we'll talk about it. So we did do an episode recapping season 1 and the end of The Boys. So you can go back and listen to that. And now we are going to recap season 2, express our various opinions, hopes, dreams, wishes, all of the above.
Educated wishes.
And then if you want week-to-week breakdowns and thoughts, head to nerdinitiative.com where Lauren has you covered because she covered that. And who knows, maybe we'll get to cover season 5 of The Boys.
I hope so.
Probably June. I imagine that might be coming around. So starting with episode 1, new year, new letter U for Godolkin U. It is 1967. We see Godolkin try to stop some scientists from using V. However, it's too late. They horrifically die as the place burns down. This is what is known as Project Odessa. Now, in the past, Emma and Jordan are at the jail.
Present.
Oh, sorry, present. You're right. My eyeballs. No wonder.
I was like, if you need me to read it since your eyeballs not working, just
sorry, I can't hear you. I'm blind. Emma and Jordan are at the jail. We saw them at the end of season 1. However, now they are back at Godolkin U, welcomed by Kate. And now there's a new Dean named Cypher, who we know him. Number 1, he was in the Elmira jail, but number 2, he was also the priest in
Midnight
Mass. And he's a really good actor.
Also, I think in the show Legion, which is Marvel.
Oh, that's a good point.
And he was in the show with Coulson and Val, the Old Adventures of New Christine, or New Adventures of Old Christine.
Cool. He's a good actor. Midnight Mass, I loved him in that, and I loved him in this. That's really what I've seen.
Definitely has range, and he shows the range in this show.
He does. So he wants Marie, however, she escaped their prison, and Andre, as it turns out, has died there, which is a good homage, kind of how they wrapped up his story. As you know, the actor had passed away. So Marie is on the run. She then beats up some Homelanders because there's gangs, Homelanders and Starlighters. They're all after each other. She ends up getting caught by Dognut. God, this guy is something else.
So creepy.
However, at this point, Starlight rescues her, tells her to go back to the school to help her out because she thinks that they're starting another Odessa project. We learn that Kate and Sam did not know about Andre. Then Tiny Hula Emma at a frat party takes some guy's phone, and then they catch up with Marie. Kate follows them and ends up getting knocked out and left for dead by Marie, Emma, and Jordan, which...
I love that you watched that like way after I did, and you're like, "Oh, Kate's dead," and I'm like, "No, she's not."
I know.
I'm
behind, and I just recently finished Gen V. I didn't really get into season 1 as much, but season 2 I pretty much dug. And when we left her, last seeing her in The Boys, working with Homelander and them, I was thinking she died, and in my head I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, man, she's bleeding out. Thank God somebody got their justice.
Frenchie.
Nope, she didn't end up dying. Spoiler alert, I guess, but we're spoiling this whole thing. So if you're spoiled, then sorry, but Kate doesn't die, and Kate actually turns around to be one of my favorites from this season.
Interesting. Weird.
It is.
So episode 2, Justice Never Forgets. Marie does a reel explaining, "Hey guys, I'm back at Godolkin U.
Influencers, baby, in the wild." We saw one of those at the Disney store.
Oh yeah, I can never go to the Disney outlet without seeing somebody live and answering questions. And I think some
God, it's
people
so
buy
hard to
this
look
stuff.
at, especially as two people that have to do some stuff like this sometimes.
You really want to see it, go to an Epcot festival the day the festival starts. They're all over the place trying
Oh
food
my
and
God.
talking, and they're live, and yeah. Yeah.
You know, look, they get free stuff, I think, I guess. I don't know. I can't, whatever. Teach their own. I wish
So
I had more shame.
no, I don't judge. It's just it's funny to see. And we benefit from all of it. I watch the videos that people make.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
So, Jordan feels betrayed though because Marie left them.
Yeah.
Marie apologizes and they do make up. Kate now is in the hospital and Firecracker she's just praying for Kate.
Oh my
Because those
God, I hate her
evil
so much.
Starlighters attacked her.
She's
So
such a good actress. I hate her so much though.
Polarity is back too. He's determined to find out what happened to his son, Andre. Emma and Polarity team up, which I love their team up. It's so unexpected and so perfect.
Agreed.
The two of them find a secret room full of Nazi and KKK stuff, which I'm hoping this is a nod to Stormfront.
Oh God, there's just so much Nazi stuff in life anymore.
Oh, that's right, because we literally just
we just talked Peacemaker. I'm tired.
Oh yeah. Okay, so just remember, kids, Nazis are bad. Anything Nazi is bad. So Emma accidentally gets high. She takes the wrong pill. And then she gets really excited when they find certain documents explaining the Odessa Project because Marie is the Odessa Project. And then she suddenly accidentally gets giant, which is, they weren't even supposed to be back
loved
there.
That. They weren't. She tricks the guy who was an actor.
Polarity's response was like, yeah.
Because she ends up taking too many of her pills, and so that puts her in like a real loopy.
Like, I thought it was Xanax and it was going to calm me down.
Yeah, and so she ends up getting real loopy, and then she ends up talking to the guy who was guarding it because he has, you know, the memory, and so.
And at first, I think she's playing him.
I thought so too, but then
the guy had a show, and she's like, "Oh, I watched your show," and then Polarity, I think, thinks she's playing him, and then I'm like, "No, I think she's really just a fan."
She legit watched the show because she knows so much about it.
Yeah. And that's why the guy let him in the back. Yeah.
And then it's hilarious because she grows huge and then she has no clothes on. It's like this awkward moment between the two.
Still figuring it out. Like when she gets sad, she suddenly shrinks. And when she gets happy, she's
right. She doesn't know how to control her powers.
She used to have to puke or eat to do that.
Right. I love Emma.
This is why you have to go somewhere like the School for Gifted Mutants.
That's right. Professor Xavier's School for Gifted Mutants.
Well, that's what the Godolkin guy was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be, yeah.
But in the comics, it's Godolkin has his G-men. He's Xavier. Okay.
Well, yeah.
So the Starlighter that Marie saved is now framed and killed for attacking Kate, which is obviously complete BS. And Kate wakes up at the hospital surrounded by bodies because her power is all sorts of freaky deaky.
Yeah, if people basically touch her, she kind of makes them kill themselves, which is pretty crazy and insane. And at the same time, what's his name? Sam is, going through a lot too. As Sam's
and I love that I don't love this, but Sam's having
mental breakdowns, and he goes home at a point.
Part of his mental breakdown is, well, for one, and I think we get into it in the next episode.
You're right, my bad.
Kate was making him not feel anything.
Yeah, and so that way he couldn't remember or feel bad about the bad things that they've done.
But yeah, he feels bad about Frenchie. He's like, that girl was screaming for her boyfriend, and that was the first time we saw Kimiko have a voice.
Oh, yeah. You're right. That's right.
So he's like, I just keep hearing her scream for like her boyfriend in my head. And so I like that he feels guilt for Frenchie.
I agree. And that's another thing is they really do a good job at, I hate the word subversion, but they kind of subvert that expectation, right? Where, you thought at the end of where we last saw Sam and Kate, they were terrible people, but they have real feelings. There's guilt, there's regret. Now Sam's really struggling because he doesn't have Kate to, control his emotions.
He's basically a drug addict. Essentially is what it is. He's numbing the pain. And like, you got to feel feelings, man.
And he also gets a little crazy and sees puppets and things like that. So
I love his puppets.
I do. Yeah.
Especially because they've roped Jason Ritter into he's like, not the puppet master, but he's like the guy he's like Mr. Rogers and like,
yeah. So in episode 3,
speaking of puppets, H is for human.
We see the human employees getting screened and discriminated against at Godolkin U. It's Thomas Godolkin Day. Hooray! Ooh. Marie goes to talk to her mom's old BFF, who shows her pictures of her as a newborn being held by Cypher. We also learn that I know.
That was a shock.
We also learned that she adopted Marie's sister, but didn't want
That
her,
bitch.
which is even more awkward. So now Jordan is number one. Look at that. Sam
Good
gets
for
angry at
Jordan.
Kate because she won't make him feel nothing anymore. She also can't. Now, it's not
She doesn't
because
want people to know that yet, so she lies. She's like, "You had like," she acts like she's being.
she doesn't want people to know that
altruistic.
her powers are not working, essentially, because she's back. And as the new number one, Jordan gives a transtastic.
No, transtastic. Remember they make it. They make them say
Oh, you're
transtastic,
right. Sorry, I
and
thought
he's
I
like
was.
transtastic, really. And then
Yes.
when they go up there, they actually say it, and it sounds so stupid. And that's when
Yeah, so basically Jordan tells the truth about what happened with Andre and Kate's injury, puts the blame on themselves, not Emma or Marie, right after telling Marie that they love her because they hooked up and they have a weird relationship going on in this season.
I
I don't think it's
love,
weird. I just more mean like they're
I love their
navigating their
relationship.
feelings for each other.
One of
I
my
do
biggest
too.
issues with this is the bullshit that happened in the last episode. I fucking
Oh, yeah,
I hate the
yeah.
will they won't they. I think they were a great power couple together.
I thought they were too. They ended up, I mean,
Cut the
Jordan was
drama,
Marie's first
like,
as well.
but like, why are we doing this drama? They're so good for each other.
I don't like love drama
Marie
sometimes.
loves Jordan no matter what form they're in. I
Yeah.
think that they're fantastic. And who was it? Somebody said like, maybe I saw it online. They're like, Marie is like living the bisexual dream.
Oh, honestly, though, really, because Jordan can
Best of
go
both
between the two.
worlds.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Literally the best of
I
both
guess you're
worlds.
right.
Yeah.
But I thought that speech was powerful, and then they just kind of play it off, that whole thing, and then also
But you
they,
see Cypher reeling as Jordan's
yes,
saying
well,
it.
they tell that Marie that they love her, so that also makes me even more upset with how things end in this season because, hey, I love you, and that's a big moment, and yeah,
Drama. You gotta remember these are freaking college
more
kids.
drama.
So episode 4, bags.
Yes.
Kate is lying and backing up the BS Starlighter story. Cypher has set it up for Jordan and Marie to fight, even though they don't want to. We are getting gender bender versus blood bender. Kate does, however, agree to help Marie. Her powers are very off, though, and it leads to a security guard doing very nasty things to Cypher's garden gnome. Kate and Jordan do manage to sneak into the secret room at Cypher's house, though, and this is where they see an old, burned up person inside of like a medical tube incubator thing. Suddenly, his eyes open and the two of them take off. Cypher knows they were there. He's got a lot of security in his house. He's a bad guy. He's one step ahead. Meanwhile, though, Cypher is training Marie with a goat named Elon. Elon doesn't make it. And that was funny with how they described it. Like, they named him after Elon Musk. And
yeah. Yes.
So Marie does realize, though, that she can move whole bodies. And that's why this episode's called Bags, because we are all just blood bags. And she's able to move blood.
Yeah,
so
she's
she
like
can
cutting her hand, but she doesn't have to, essentially.
Right. She doesn't need to
That's
do
how
that.
she does it.
But I mean, or she takes it from other people. Oh,
Yeah.
So many diseases. They even mentioned that, I think, in season 1. Like, it's such an unhygienic one.
It really is.
So Marie senses no V in Cypher, though, when she gets close to him. So they decide to plan a heist kind of thing to reveal Cypher is only human. Emma gets Harper and the pube girl to help, which I think her name's Allie.
I forget her name, but it is.
I think it's Allie.
Ew.
Yeah, but it works.
It does.
True the boys' fashion, man. It works. So during the fight of Gender Bender versus Blood Bender, Emma sneaks in through the pipes and comes up through the toilet, and I had to turn away as we get a full-on taint view of Cypher.
This dude we really do. He's about to sit down on the toilet. It kind of really was, but Kate's trying to get out of the toilet. You see him about to sit down. You get booty hole and all, and you're just like, oh my God.
Like, usually
sometimes that's my problem with the boys. Is you don't have to do some of this stuff.
But most of the time it pays off, like with our Trojan horse in this last episode. It pays off. This was completely unnecessary and not needed. Yeah. I did not need to see that.
I didn't either.
So, so after that debacle that we're all still recovering for, still not as bad as when we saw Splinter. Emma is doing all that. Meanwhile, she was sneaking the camera in.
Dirty toilet. Oh my God.
So I like that they made it blue. I feel like to give the perception that it's clean.
No, but she's climbing the walls of a toilet nonetheless. And that probably grosses me out more than seeing his whole booty hole, because the toilet, it's so gross.
It is gross. It is gross. And then I saw a making of behind the scenes where she's having to like climb up the toilet bowl. I love seeing the behind the scenes with Emma because, she has to be tiny.
Well, yeah, she gets tiny and huge and all that other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the whole thing was she was sneaking a camera in
Yes.
for Kate to try to get his confession that he's not a soup, because his whole thing is, make America super again, or whatever it is.
Yep. Yep.
So Cypher, though, suddenly decides to unleash his Geppetto powers and forces Jordan to attack Marie. So Marie must stop Jordan. And basically she has Jordan above her, and Jordan's like frozen, and Marie puts it together that this is Cypher controlling Jordan, but she doesn't know how.
Yes.
And then he claims that the guy in the incubator is his dad.
It was, yeah. So it was very, very interesting because, you're set up to believe that he's not a soup. And then the whole reveal at the end, too, was even more
Makes
interesting.
so
Is
much
they
more
weren't
sense,
wrong.
Which I love that. I thought that was great.
Pitting them against each other in a fight in this thing was, they had to do it. They got blackmailed into doing it. Yeah, he's messing with them at this point. And so episode 5, the kids are not all right. There is a Supernatural episode called The Kids Are All Right. It's a song. We know.
But still, there's a lot of people that work on The Boys and that work on Supernatural.
There is,
so
especially in the next
I
season.
feel like this might have been intentional, especially because Kripke was still involved when the episode The Kids Are All Right came out. It's the one where we meet, what's her face? The girl he lived with for like a year.
Oh, that's right.
And Ben. Lisa and Ben.
Now, in this episode, though, it's not Supernatural, but we do see Cypher taking care of good old dad, and then he bangs Sister Stage, who I hate because I just hate.
I actually love her. I love her.
She's so good that I hate her. That's why, like, the actress is so good.
I actually like her. I like her more than Starlight.
Oh, that's a low bar. So at this point, Cypher. They're staring at his dad while they bang, by the way. Cypher has sent Kate to Elmira. Jordan, Emma, and Marie decide that they're going to break Weird Barbie out. Sam doesn't want to help and instead goes to his parents' house and learns that he had mental health issues before all of this. They gave him V, hoping it would help. They do still love him, and Vought had told them he was dead, which is completely messed up. He attacks his dad.
And also all crazy. I kind of predicted that. Like, nobody else has gotten mental issues from having it other than, like, Homelander feeling like a narcissistic kind of whatever.
That's less like, that's just because.
But why would you want somebody who has mental health issues to have more power?
You give them V to cure them. That's also a thing. So I think on that was kind of a take on the nuclear family and how, the Kennedys lobotomized their kid versus, they hit her away and lobotomized her and all that stuff. It's kind of a take on that is how I took it rather than.
So you saw like Golden Boy got V and he was doing really well. I think maybe it went more into that, and they were probably lied to. Like, this should help your son.
They were probably lied to. They didn't know how else to help him. They felt helpless. And so it's probably one of those coerced things. And then again, families like that who seem to be wealthy white families, especially, they don't want that quote unquote stain, as some people would see it as, when we see what it's in Superman Lois, right? They hide old girls, Sarah, her mental issues and everything like that. So it's one of those things.
I feel like we see that a lot, but it's coming to more. But yeah, Jordan and Superman Lois had issues.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, you need me to read? You good? Is your eyeball breaking? Oh, he's yelling at kids. Okay. So Sam doesn't want to help. Instead, like Matt said, he goes to his parents and learns he had mental issues before. So they gave him hope. But the really nice thing is they actually do still genuinely love him. And they seem like good people and good parents. And Vought had actually told them that Sam was dead and he was not dead. So back to the breakout. So it's a trap. They all get captured. Polarity then has a seizure. Cypher tells Marie he wants to work with her. She says no, and then she learns that he actually has her sister, Annabeth, who she spent the entire first season looking for and has been looking for this season. They end up killing her sister, Annabeth. As they see this while trying to escape, Maria, of course, stops, makes everybody wait, and she brings Annabeth back to life.
This was crazy. I didn't think that she would have that ability.
Well, she kind of did it in season 1. Where they were at the club and Andre, remember he made that like crystal thing and like somebody bumped him and it flew across the room. And that was because that set up that whole season, because then what's the one guy's name? I can never remember his name, even though he's in everything. He's in Ahsoka and whatnot. So he was like the original Dean.
Clancy Brown.
Clancy Brown.
Yes.
So he used Marie as a scapegoat, and he's like, oh, you're the hero that's making the sacrifice or whatever. And so that kind of set up her whole story for, season 1, because all of a sudden she got this opportunity and then he took it away and then she got it back because Golden Boy killed him. So, yeah. But Jordan also mentions that Cypher is in pain.
Yeah. Which, again, is really interesting because The whole thing, the plot thickens because at this point didn't even realize what was going on. You probably picked it up before I did that. What really was going on with Cypher? Because
I didn't know that he was
SpongeBob, Ariana Grande's boo, whose marriage she broke up with.
I still
Yeah,
haven't seen
that
Wicked.
effing guy.
No, I knew that the guy in the incubator was Godolkin. I knew that without a doubt. You can tell it's the same actor by the eyes.
But we didn't realize he was being controlled though at that point, right?
Right.
That
I
makes
did
sense.
not know Cypher was being controlled. I didn't understand why
Sure.
Marie didn't feel sense V, so I didn't
Makes
get why he
sense.
was in pain.
That makes sense. I got you. And you're right. I guess there were some allusions to it, but for me, I forgot all about that because I was kind of half in the bag with season 1. And so the fact that Marie brought, her sister back, I was like, dang, that was
that part, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good surprise.
Well, and Cypher's teaching her how to more control blood so she can get the blood back in there and get it pumping. But obviously she has powers beyond just blood, or maybe just the blood manipulation can do more than you realize. Because she goes on
I
to
guess you're
cure more
right.
people. Well,
She does. So in episode 6, which is cooking lessons, woohoo! Now with Annabeth alive, they're back to breaking out. Excuse me. Annabeth somehow knows where to direct them. Suddenly, Sam bursts through the wall, Kool-Aid Man style. Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
And they're free now. Woohoo! Cypher was at home during the breakout. He is, of course, upset about what went down. He wants Marie back because he's pretty obsessed with her at this point. He then hits his dad. The kids hole up at an abandoned library and they get some sweet book shirts. Emma, being incredibly real, says she knows nobody's phone number. I can relate. I'm so bad about, first of all.
She's trying to get a hold of Polarity and she's like, I don't know anybody's phone number. And just like go online and like find it.
Listen, Emma, me too, girl. First of all, my problem is saving phone numbers. And then my other problem is I know my wife's, but I couldn't tell you like Lauren's, for example, and we talk all the time. Like, I don't know.
I don't even know what your area code is.
Exactly. See, I only know my wife's phone number. So there you go. Now
I know Josh's and people who have had the same number since 2000.
I've had the same number since I was 18.
Oh, me too.
There you go. So I've had the same number forever.
But I didn't know you then. So
that's also very, very true. Now, Annabeth comes clean that she has had visions sometimes. Cypher tells Polarity that Marie can fix his seizures. At the library, the Viking soup shows up and attacks them, but Newman's tentacle daughter and Stan Edgar, which was a pleasant surprise to me because I did not see that coming, show up and save the day. The tentacles inside of his head rips his head clean off. I thought that was gnarly as hell. Stan Edgar and Giancarlo Esposito's smooth, silky smooth voice. I'm getting a phone call. Give me 1 second, please.
All right. So, so Cypher, that's it. Yes, she saves the day. And she saves the day in a creepy way of like, I just murdered somebody and she's just so proud of herself. So Stan takes them to his safe house, his very fancy safe house. They learn the Odessa Project only made 2 soups that survived, and those 2 soups are Homelander and Marie. Odessa had gotten shut down, but Cypher wants soup supremacy and control of soups, while Edgar just wants to be in charge of Vought again. And he's like, I know how to control soups, but his is more like a manipulative thing. Like we saw him with Homelander and the boys and how well he was able to control Homelander and how he was never nervous. And Homelander even commented on like, your heart's not even raising. So Cypher is very upset he can't find Marie. He does find Polarity, however, and Polarity manages to throw Cypher out a window, and then we see Cypher run away. Then Marie escapes Edgar's in the middle of the night for some stupid righteous hero BS, and Kate decides to follow her.
I don't know why I did that, but on to episode 7, Hell Week. Annabeth wakes up to a nightmare of Marie and wakes everybody else up. Jordan claims to know where they went. Kate wants Marie to heal her, but she still doesn't trust her, rightfully so. Together, they go to Cypher's looking for the dad who they think is Godolkin. Godolkin can save them at all. He's actually not there, but a very weak Polarity is. Marie heals him, to which Annabeth describes her latest vision, and Jordan realizes that she's seeing the training room. Marie can sense Godolkin and can feel him dying. We learn that Annabeth actually saw her parents' death before it happened. Then, as they try to help Marie, she decides to float her friends to stop them, and ultimately, Polarity makes her put them down. Marie and Polarity end up going to Cypher. This is when Polarity attacks Cypher while Marie goes to Godolkin. The kids help Polarity, but then they all become puppets. Uh-oh. Marie heals
I have
Godolkin
no
and then
strings
passes
to hold
out.
me down.
We learned Cypher was just a puppet for Godolkin, hence the no V in the no pain. Outside, we then see Godolkin makes the fraternity soup with a lame power, wearing a diaper, kill himself. So yes,
That was just pitiful. I was
the
like,
dude
dude, this kid's
SpongeBob.
already like at his fucking freaking lowest.
It's a good bait and switch. So Doug is Cypher turns out to be
Why
a
is he
normal guy named
SpongeBob?
Doug.
Does he voice SpongeBob in
He
something?
was in a SpongeBob musical and he was playing SpongeBob in the musical, so everybody knows him as that.
Oh, like a real musical?
Before he was in Wicked, he was like
Oh,
Broadway SpongeBob or
I
whatever.
don't like SpongeBob. I might
And
get
then he
used to
left
that.
his wife, who they were high school sweethearts, to get with Ariana Grande. And it looks like once this press tour
Wait,
is
is this in
done,
real life or is this in Wicked?
yeah, no, this is real life. Like during the
Okay.
Wicked filming,
I don't know them
he left
personally, so I
his
didn't know
wife
that.
who had like a newborn baby for Ariana Grande. And now they've lived together, but the rumors are, catch up on the hot
Oh
goss,
gosh, I don't
is
want to hear
that
this.
they are no
I'm
longer
gonna mute
together. And so once
myself.
the press
That's not
tour
gonna
is
help.
over,
I really hear
they're
it.
going to split.
I
Anyways,
don't know these people.
the guy's a weenie. Ariana Grande, everybody knows. All right. So
I've never met her.
thank
I don't
you.
know her.
Next. All right.
I don't want to know her drama.
Anyways, good bait and switch. Our dude Cypher is not Cypher. He is actually poor Doug, who's just a normal human being who got mind controlled. And that was a pretty crazy plot twist.
But Emma even calls out his name. She's like, yeah, the name's not like suspicious because cipher literally means, quote, a secret or disguised way of writing. A code, end
Damn.
quote. And Emma called that out in the first episode.
I love it.
All right, so let's wrap this up in Trojan. Here we go before we have some of our thoughts and educated wishes. So, in the 1967 flashback, we are back there again and we hear, I love you, baby. We see the rest of that scene where Godolkin stabs himself with the V and everything burns. But it was the good V, it was the super soldier V that keeps you young. Present day Godolkin is now not having his way with Sage. That sounds wrong. He's having consensual relations with Sage with his own body, which he's so happy to do. We learn that they actually set up Starlight and that they got big personal plans. But Godolkin is getting a little big for his britches and is kind of tuning out the most intelligent person in the world. Literally the most intelligent person in the world. Cypher is now just a sweet dude named Doug. And he tells Polarity that he could not have been more proud of Andre and that he was the greatest hero he had ever seen. I loved that scene. That
was
so sweet.
And, oh my God. Okay. You're right, because we've been built up now that this dude Doug is essentially has been a terrible person.
He's a victim.
Yeah. And now
Doug is a victim.
And so him and Polarity have this really sweet moment about Andre. And then he gets killed.
I know. And we actually see Polarity smile.
We should have known. We should have known. He was never going to make it alive.
Yep, he murders Doug, kidnaps Polarity, and after doing some fanboying over Polarity, Sage walks in. She's worried about Homelander, and Godolkin is no longer listening to her, and she ends up letting Polarity go. She's not obvious about it. She just doesn't like walk his cage.
Right.
Marie does finally heal Kate. She decides she finally trusts her. And Godolkin goes live and says, ratings are all being reset. I'm Thomas Godolkin. I'm back. Everybody is back at a 0 or whatever, and anybody can be number 1. Come to my seminars.
Fight Club.
Yeah, but they're talking about it. So the kids will be tested. Marie and friends try to go around and warn everybody. Of course, they have no luck. And Rufus, this is when I realized Rufus was named Rufus because he makes people black out like they are on roofies. I didn't put that together in season 1. I'm a little ashamed of myself.
I only knew because I think I had seen it spoiled on social media, but I had no idea that was why either.
But like how clever. Yeah, so Rufus roofies some of them, but Black Hole stays behind. No pun intended. If you don't remember Black Hole, he's the one with the ass that people just get lost in, like not staring at, get lost in. Literally, like
they literally get lost in that
boots. And there was a scene where they go running through something and some like whole person is inside of his ass. And I was like, okay, this is going too far. This is unnecessary. Well, this episode, they made it all make sense. Yeah. So Godolkin is determined to kill all the Supes who are weak or have exploited their powers for sex or money, which is why Rufus is there. Because obviously Rufus has a great power, but he is creepy about it. So he's killing them in this seminar. So Marie shows up and they use Black Hole's TARDIS of an ass as a Trojan horse. He smuggles in Jorda, Emma, Harper, Pube Girl, and well, he smuggles in a lot of people. And then Emma goes giant. They manage to take him down, and Harper actually takes his power for a minute because remember earlier in the season we learned Harper has more than just a weird tail. She can actually do the whole Mystique,
which I think is
thing for
cool.
like
I
a
was
solid
very
minute.
interested to see like how if she would be able to do that with somebody like Godolkin. Was she's able to? I thought that was cool.
Which is really cool. And you see her because she doesn't usually do that. You see her actually be like, oh my God, is it working? She's like, oh my gosh, I'm controlling everybody. So she absorbs the entire power for a minute. And they're like, okay, we only have 50 seconds, whatever, go, go, go. So Marie, though, it takes a little bit long. I don't know what she's doing. She really just lets this minute just go by so fast. And before
Really,
we know it,
just monologuing, dude. What are you doing?
it's like you can't monologue unless you're a villain telling your evil plan
Kill
to
them and then
everybody.
monologue. Jesus.
So he ends up getting control of Marie. Enter Polarity, who does stop them, which I did kind of like that the grown-up comes in and takes control and also gets revenge for his son. I actually did like that. Emma then pops his head and she says, for Andre. So again, and it's so funny because like she does that and like she says for Andre and Polarity, like she just exploded this guy's head. And like if this was like the world of Spider-Man, they would be like, man, you really shouldn't have killed him. We should have taken him to the authorities. Da, 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 da. But instead, Polarity is like, you know, good
F
job.
this.
Yes, this is
Yeah,
for
no, and
Andre.
I was very surprised because I thought because they're setting things up like Godolkin versus Homelander. He's gonna meet all this kind of stuff. And
Godolkin
then
didn't care about Homelander
he
anymore.
didn't. So Godolkin
yeah.
didn't. They wanted like Sage was essentially setting up
He's
a meeting with
irritated
them.
by Homelander.
Yeah, and then he's starting this whole genocidal war on weak soups in his mind, which Homelander wouldn't have liked. You know that.
I think Homelander actually would have liked that. I think they would have been aligned.
Ooh,
Because
okay,
remember
that's
with
interesting.
Homelander at the end of season 1 says to Marie, what kind of animal are you to turn on your own kind? But how with if Homelander,
good
I mean, like, because
point.
look at
I
him,
don't
even
know.
when
I guess
A-Train's
you're right.
legs
You're right.
when he couldn't run because of his
If
heart,
they're
he's
weak,
like,
he doesn't view in the same eye. It's you're right.
yeah, look at the
You are right
Daredevil
because
guy.
when
He's like,
A-Train couldn't run,
he's
he
like,
looked at him as weak.
rest your
And then,
useless
yes,
effing legs.
yes, you are right. They
And then he
probably
made
would
the
have gotten
Daredevil
along.
guy deaf.
Yes.
Like,
Okay,
now
you
you're just
are
another useless.
spot on.
What did he call him?
I don't
Useless
remember, but
blind guy or something.
that's a very good point. And
But you can't have two egomaniacal.
no, they
a-holes
would have killed
together.
each other in the long run. Like they would have gone after each other.
That
Yeah,
actually would have been a cool ending to just have them take each other out. It's like in Supernatural when Godzilla and Mothra fight. What do? You get the hell out of the way. But
let them
so
fight.
Godolkin's out of the picture now. So Marie has
No.
exploded his head, and then Polarity tells the kids, "You guys need to leave now." Jordan, Emma, Marie, Kate, Sam, and
It's
Annabeth
suicide.
all head out. Suddenly, Starlight and A-Train show up and invite them to join the resistance. They're
Nick
taking
Fury
the
style.
kids
We're
down,
starting an initiative.
and Jordan and Marie break up.
Okay, didn't like that.
Nope, I hated
Did
that
not
part.
like Jordan breaking up. Like, come on.
Totally, but I mean, I don't blame Jordan for breaking up with Marie. Like, why did
I
Marie?
think they'll
feel
end up
like-
together, though. I do. It's probably
I
one of those.
hate the will they won't they. Freaking hate that crap.
Me too,
Hate it.
because there's so much plot and so much story that I feel like in this sense you don't need it.
Let's just get right. We don't need a will.
I don't think you need it. Yeah.
I'm
You
all
don't.
for a power couple. I'm actually, as much as I hate Starlight, I'm glad they're not doing that with Huey and Starlight. I'm glad they're just together and they're good.
Agreed. Because I feel like then you just lose. So when you start the will they won't they, I truly feel that you lose a good chunk of, storytelling because you're so focused on
See, I'm not
avoiding
I find
them
that
being together.
mind-numbingly boring.
Well, no, I'm saying like if you focus on that, the storytellers themselves then lose a bit of plot or good other
Right. It takes away
exposition
from
and
stuff
things
that
like
you-
that
right.
because they're so focused on reasons as to why they can't be together, causing them to have rifts versus like legit plot
just work through your
moving
crap.
things. Yeah, we're come on.
Like
so I don't
Marie
like
leaving
this
in the middle of the
either.
night was obnoxious. She didn't need
Agreed.
to do that. Completely obnoxious. She's like, "Oh, I'm so powerful now," and they go off and like we've seen Dean do it in Supernatural. You've seen a lot of people do it in
They
Supernatural.
always do it. Yeah.
I don't want to endanger other people. I'm going to go out and do this on my own. What are you, a martyr? Like, why are you doing this? You just
It's
had a
so
conversation
stupid.
how
Screw
y'all
that,
work
dude.
better together. Yes.
Yeah. There's
I
so
hated that.
many there's so many things that showcase why you're good better together, and in this instance you're
Like Jack Johnson
taking on powerful suits, right? Like you're fighting the system. You need numbers, man. I'm sorry.
down
You
with
need
the
numbers.
man.
Especially when you have somebody like Homelander roaming around. You're not going to do that by yourself. You need numbers.
But I do like to, and I remind myself, these are children. I understand they're legal adults, but they are characters who are under the age of 21. They are characters, or maybe some of them are 21. They're characters that are in college.
Not
Like
wrong.
they're still young, they're still finding their way, and all of them, even if they had good parents, they all had traumatic childhoods, even just being exposed to V. So
Yeah,
they're still figuring things out and they're being faced with, world
totally
saving
fair.
issues. So I will give them that. Because I felt like Polarity brought a sense of grown-upness to the whole situation.
Yes, that's why Polarity is truly probably like I love Polarity. Is not my favorite because I think Kate kind of became one of my favorites.
Emma's
Just
mine,
because
hands down. Emma
oh,
wins.
that's fair.
She's
Totally
the
fair.
only
Emma is
person
so
who is
close. I love
always
her.
knows exactly what's going on, is aware of the
She
situation,
didn't
calls
back down
herself
at
out.
all, and she actually got better too as far as her powers go. Her powers progressed in this
Yeah.
season, and I feel like truly without Emma being the driving force as to why a lot of this happened and they started to actually do things and fight back in a sense, you don't really have that because Emma got them to find out about Project Odessa, for example, and then Emma got them together, and
She's
Emma went to
resourceful.
Polarity and got Polarity involved in the game. And
Yeah.
now he's kind of stuck at Godalkin as the dean. I think he's going to be the next dean of Godalkin, in my opinion.
Because in his mind, he has nothing left to lose. He lost
Right. And
everything.
because they mentioned, hey, it's a suicide mission. He goes,
I don't.
okay, but you
What do
got
you
to get
care?
out of here.
You
Whatever. My
lost
son's
your
dead.
spouse and your kid. What does it matter?
Right. And totally fair.
Go
I
down
get
fighting,
it.
man.
And so this season really did resonate well with me. I do like this season a lot. It will be interesting to see how The Boys wraps everything up.
Which
And
I guess will be
then
6 months after this.
yeah, and then they're talking about hopefully getting renewed for a season 3, so that would probably be the fallout.
But I got to imagine that these characters are going to be somewhat of an integral part of season
At
5.
this point, yeah, they've got to be, right? I mean, Starlight and A Train recruited Marie in them, so it's
Yeah.
all going to converge, and then it's probably going to be the fallout of rebuilding all of that stuff after whatever happens in season 5.
We
And
got
then
to see, like,
I don't know.
Starlight and A-Train were a little too chummy at the end of this. And I'm like, clearly they're not. I mean, I get it. They
Yeah,
all
A
had to
Train
come
is super
together.
chill, being somebody that was. I don't mind A Train now. I do really love his character growth, but he was
Yeah.
super chill about everything, and
I
Starlight was really
do.
chill with him too.
I'm fine with A-Train's character growth. I've actually enjoyed his character growth, and I love that at the very first episode of Gen V season 1, you actually see Marie's parents watching A-Train get like sworn into the boys, and they say this is the first African American that's been on the 7. So I think that's really cool, and you understand why he's done certain things. But Starlight was so freaking mad at him at the end of season 4.
I
And now they're
know,
just
right?
BFF. And honestly, it makes me dislike her more than him. But I
She
also get the
That's
recruiting
a
people.
whole
They have
yeah,
to be
they
grown
have
up.
to. I mean, you have to put petty things aside when you're fighting somebody like
But
Homelander.
speaking of that, though, one of the things I thought was very interesting is that they took Marie's parents and had her be Project Odessa. They intentionally, I don't think that they chose the gender. I'm sure they probably could, but I don't think they chose the gender, nor do
I
I
don't
think
think
they
they did.
care as much. But they didn't have a black baby.
Yeah, and
So
the
I
whole
thought
thing
that
was
was,
like Godalkin was racist.
but was the Godalkin racist? I don't think
I thought
Godalkin was racist.
okay. I thought there was something about like the KKK. Wasn't there like a picture of him with the KKK or something like that? Or there was some when they went
Oh,
into
maybe
that
it
room,
was Stormfront or
they
something.
saw some. There was like KKK pictures or something they found when Emma and
Oh,
Polarity went in
maybe.
there. I thought
Maybe
I
he
could be
realized that
mistaken.
didn't matter, but I did think it was interesting because, like, with John Homelander,
Yeah,
like, they wanted a white blonde male.
right.
And so now with Marie, she's not any of those
They
things. And
probably
I
realized, yeah,
think
afterwards
that's,
it didn't matter
but I
then.
wonder if it was they were seeing where the future was heading so that they were like,
Oh,
let me do this, or if they just didn't care anymore and all these babies
good
were
point.
dying. So they're like, let's just get whoever we can to procreate.
Yeah,
But
that's
I
a good
feel like
point
you
too.
can't ignore that because racism is not only real in real life, but obviously it is real in The Boys, as evidenced by Stormfront. But then you
Yeah,
also see like Homelander, he's like, "Can you just stop with this Nazi crap?" He's like, "I just hate
he's like,
humans.
God, like, dude, I hate
Whatever
everybody.
color they are, as long as they have superpowers."
Right, and good for him, I guess, in a weird way. But
I love when you have a villain that is not misogynistic, racist, or
right,
homophobic.
he just
I don't know why. I
wants to
find it
kill
so
everybody. I
funny.
guess whatever.
Right. It's like
Respect, I get. Yeah,
it's like same with Vigilante. Like he'll kill graffitiers, but he is like super
it's
happy for
blood
his
money. I'm
dad
not
who's
spending that.
married another guy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you're
fun.
right. I do give. I honestly think the season is probably a 9.5 out of 10 for me. I know the grading things, but that's the world we live in. I do like this season. It really after season 1, which was kind of like, season 2 really brought me around to Gen V and these characters.
Yeah, and the fact that they went back to the past, I do think 1967 was intentional, and playing "I Love You, Baby" was a nod to Supernatural. But
Obviously, the
I
Empire.
also, going into the past, and the fact that he got the V that Soldier Boy got, I feel like these are Easter eggs and nods they're throwing in to get us excited for Vought Rising.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the other spinoff that's going to be coming out, which is pretty cool. They have all these spinoffs. That's
So yeah, if you
Jensen's coming
see
back.
Jensen at conventions, that's why when he has no beard, apparently
We deserve more boys actors at these
Merchandise?
conventions and merchandise. No,
Yeah.
merchandise, but you
Maybe
don't
we'll
really
get that
see
at
the boys
MegaCon,
at
that would be
comic
cool.
conventions aside
You
from
really
maybe
don't.
San Diego, but they're not out there at New York City than these other things really a lot. Which
There
is
was a bunch of them at the Spookala, which is now called Scaradise over here in
they had to
Tampa.
change it because there was something with the name. Yeah, I remember them going through that whole thing recently.
Yeah, fun
I don't
times.
know, man. I'm excited. This was solid. This was solid. Thank you for pushing me even more because you were like, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. And so I did. I finally did. Yay. That's all I have. Do you have any final thoughts before we wrap up? Gen V?
No, just excited for season 5 of The Boys. Let's go.
Probably
Especially because we're
June,
gonna
I
have more
imagine, yeah.
Soldier Boy. I
That's
think
why
so too. I think it will be June because
it just seems like that's when they typically drop them anyways, too. So whatever. We'll figure it out. But make sure, again, go look at Lauren's recaps on nerdinitiative.com and go check out our other episodes on The Boys recaps. We did even get to, talk with Derek Robertson at one point. So we have that episode out there. So Linktree, it's there in the bio or the thing of the episode. But Hops Geek News, that's where you can find us all over the place. So do that. Find us, live, laugh, love, and don't just go committing genocide for the sake of genocide, I guess. I don't know, man. We'll see you guys later.